Good morning. This is Anka Metcalf with TradeOutloud.com. Welcome to my pre-market game plan for the major future indices, gold and oil for today, Wednesday. It is March 8th, 2017. It is 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and happy International Women's Day to all the women traders and to all the women out there. So let's start by taking a look at YM, and things have not changed much since yesterday's trading session. In fact, yesterday's trading session was one of the sloppiest trading sessions I have seen in a very long time. And in the sense that scalping was extremely difficult, especially during the afternoon hours, morning hours and afternoon hours as well. And then we flurried on an economic release all the way to 20,864, where we formed support. So we had a defined support level at 20,893. Actually, it's the 20,900 area that held, and this is what propelled the price higher. A break of this, a break of this 20,900 to the upside. Unleashed more buying power, sending the price close into the first cluster of yesterday's highs, into 20,940 area, where we are trading right now. And there is still room to run into 20,950. So that is the resistance area. And so far, when we look on the hourly chart, we see that we have been rallying for about 2 hours from 7 a.m. Eastern time until now. It's 9 a.m. So for 2 hours, we have been rallying to the upside. We are a little bit extended in the sense that we cannot promote a long as of this point unless we have a pullback, because we have reached a resistance area. So we need a pullback. If the pullback should happen into the 20,925 area, that's going to be the area where I would look for a long position. We're going to take the buy off this area, and obviously the new pivot low that is going to form will represent our stop area. And we will have not a great risk to reward ratio, and we have learned this throughout the last 3 to 4 trading sessions, that we have not had very good risk to reward ratio on all our trades. But in fact, we're looking for a pullback into this area. We're looking for a continuation, and obviously we're looking for a break above this area, because we did come through very, very strong. And today we have the possibility of breaking this 950 area. And if we break this 950 congestion area, then we can unleash more buying all the way into the 21,000 area, which represents these prior highs. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 is a little bit weaker than the Dow. So the Dow remains one of the strongest indices so far that we see. So yeah, mini Dow is leading with 28 points to the upside, and is up 0.14% on the day. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. It's up only 2.5%, 2.5 points, and up 0.11%. We did have the ascent, but right now we are into a minor resistance area. So at this point, if we don't manage to break above this area, we can turn around. So this is the turnaround area for ES. Very, very difficult area here as we look into it. Other than that, we are looking for a continuation higher into 23.72 and possibly into 23.75 area. However, along here, it would not be possible unless we get some kind of a pullback, at least into the next 30 minutes to 45 minutes or so. Other than that, we remain into a downtrend. The downtrend remains intact on the hourly chart. However, if the price manages to push through 23.71, then the pullback will tell us more about whether we're going to have a break above this area or a turnaround into this area. So it's a little bit premature at this time. And it's one of the patterns that I really don't like that much. NASDAQ remains a little weak and a little weaker. It's up only 2.5 points. Up barely 0.05% on the day. It's one of the weakest indices right now. And you can see that it has been topping out at 53.53 area. It would not surprise me if NASDAQ is going to be one of the leaders for the afternoon and actually take out price action, take out YM and the S&P. And rally to 53.70 area, and I think this is going to be the cluster here that is going to tell us the story for today. 53.54 and 53.55, this is the area that it needs to digest in order to promote more upside, and we have actually good targets that can set up into the 53.60, 53.70, 53.80, and 90, and obviously into the 5400. So far it's stabilizing at this price. It's not advancing as fast, but this consolidation shows us that it may be ready to tackle new highs. And one quick look at Russell. The Russell is advancing super fast in this early morning. It surpassed the minor resistance area at 1377 and is trading higher, accelerating into resistance at 1380. That was the big area for yesterday's price action, yesterday's resistance. So we're going to see how Russell is going to tackle this area and possibly continuing higher into 85.90 area. And again, all these chart patterns are extremely difficult to trade off this morning. CL, the pit just opened with a break to the downside, and we broke actually the daily support area here at 52.50, accelerating lower, and it has a tradable void all the way to $52 and 51.25. This is something that we're going to look for a pullback and possible initiate a trade. I'm looking for a pullback into the 52.50 area. Obviously, I'm looking for less of a risk into this area. So we're going to see how this is going to set up. Keep in mind that today is Wednesday and we're expecting oil numbers at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So this is something that we will probably watch for after oil numbers are released. Probably after the second or the third wave after the release. Let's take a look at gold, and I was looking at gold early last night, and was looking to short 1220, and we talked about this. Yesterday. A possible short continuation into the 1200 area that is actually promoting more downside. So if this area is going to be taken out, more downside to it. Actually, for those of you that are trading the Asian session, the Asian session and early London session, this was one of the best entries that happened at midnight or 1 a.m. Eastern Time. It was the pullback into this cluster to the left-hand side that promoted the move to the downside. So very, very nice move to the downside. Remember, keep in mind, this is a very tricky area here at 1210, 1207, 1205. It is a lot of support that comes in on the daily chart, so it might turn around. So it all depends on how price action is going to react here at the New York session open, and where the indices are going to go and where all the other commodities are going to go. But other than that, this is a little tricky right here, so you cannot take it short because it has already it has already dropped quite a lot in the pre-market. So I'm sorry, an extended session. So right now, and again, it's sitting on a lot of support. Even on the daily chart, is the price is on the 50 MA and also on the weekly on the 89 and the 20. So it's a little bit choppy at this point to consider a short. However, if we consolidate weak at this point, a breakdown into the 1200 and back into 1180 is possible in oil. All right, so this was all for this morning. More for more trade ideas, remember to follow me in the Signal service, and also we have a webinar tonight. I invite you to this webinar tonight. It is hosted at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a free webinar where we will discuss more about our method and about futures trading, patterns, and a whole lot more about futures. If you're interested in futures trading, then this is the webinar for you. We're hosting also a new class that is starting on March 20th. And if you are interested in signing up for the class, or if you're interested in learning more about the class, feel free to email me at info@tradeoutloud.com. We're more than happy to schedule with you a phone conversation to discuss your trading goals and more about what you can expect from the class. It is a 6-day event. The class is a 5-day event, and then we have live trading on the 27th. So if you're interested, send me an email, info@tradeoutloud.com. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.